Looks like this year the release season really kicks off right after the slow holiday stretch. So in this video, I'm breaking down 15 of the best new games coming in February that you should definitely keep an eye on. What's up guys, it's Braz and here we go. Capcom is bringing the hammer down with Resident Evil Requiem, the 9th mainline entry that doubles as a massive 30th anniversary celebration. Directed by Koshi Nakanishi, who saved the series with RE7, this title officially marks a return to the Bridge era, the timeline between the Raccoon City fallout and the fall of Umbrella. The biggest bombshell from the recent TGA reveal is Leon, Kennedy's return as a co-protagonist alongside Grace, the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft from the cult classic Outbreak. A technical detail that sparked debate is the sauna to cold bath gameplay loop. Grace's segments focus on pure psychological dread and puzzle solving, while Leon's sections pivot to high-octane RE4-style combat. Capcom is pushing its refined RE engine to the limit, especially on PC, to avoid the optimization disasters seen in Monster Hunter Wilds. A leaked NVIDIA path tracing trailer showcased a dense, rain-slicked city hub with actual traffic and pedestrians, fueling rumors that parts of the game might offer a semi-open world structure for the first time. Another gameplay change is that Leon's iconic knife parry is being replaced by an axe mechanic, letting you land more brutal, heavier counters against chainsaw-wielding threats. This is a massive legacy project, aiming to reclaim the survival horror throne from the Silent Hill resurgence. Team Ninja's A-Team is officially back with Nioh 3, and they aren't pulling any punches. After a leaked listing on Amazon Japan spoiled the February 6 date, Koei Tecmo confirmed that the third installment is a direct sequel, moving the timeline forward rather than acting as another prequel. The standout technical leap here is the transition to a seamless open-field exploration system. Unlike the mission-based structure of previous titles, Nioh 3 allows you to freely navigate legendary Japanese regions like Edo Castle and the newly revealed Heian-era Kyoto without loading screens. The protagonist must navigate a conspiracy involving his own brother while facing historical figures like Minamoto no Yoshitsune. Fans of the previous games will appreciate the inclusion of legacy armor sets inspired by William and Hitty, unlocked through an early purchase bonus. In terms of mechanics, the combat is described as a hybrid of ninja and samurai styles, offering 14 distinct weapon classes right at launch. A major point of interest for the hardcore community is the Crucible Challenge mode, which now supports 3-player online co-op in the demo. While the game targets PS5 and PC, the PlayStation version is the clear priority, receiving an exclusive demo on January 29th that allows for save data transfer to the full game. The world's most cynical goblin returns in Styx Blades of Greed, and the development story behind its delay is surprisingly wholesome. Originally set for late 2025, Cyanide Studio and Naken pushed the release to February 19, 2026, specifically to add polish and dodge the holiday rush. In a cheeky in-character message on Steam, Styx himself joked that the devs needed more time to make his boots look appropriately grimy. This time, the narrative centers on Quartz, the world's most dangerous resource, in a setting where elves, humans, and orcs are on the brink of total war. Mechanically, the game is shifting toward a Metroidvania-style progression within massive vertical environments. Styx has access to upgraded quartz powers, allowing for even more creative assassinations and environmental manipulation. One major highlight is the airship heist sequence shown in the extended gameplay trailer, where you must navigate complex stealth layouts in a 3D space. While some fans were worried about the series becoming too lighthearted due to the increased dialogue, the devs insist the core experience remains a punishing, technical stealth action title. Milestone is aiming for the motorcycle historian crowd with Ride 6, the first entry in the series built entirely from the ground up on Unreal Engine 5. Launching February 12th, the game features a radical new career format called Ride Fest. Instead of a linear ladder, players explore themed festival zones, picking their own progression paths and unlocking events built around specific bike categories. The scale is unprecedented, over 340 motorcycles from 21 manufacturers across 7 categories, including the debut of Bagger and Maxi Enduro bikes. A new dual physics system lets you switch between pro and arcade models whenever you want. Milestone is also introducing off-road racing for the first time in franchise history, adding dirt and gravel tracks to the 45-location roster. Real-world legends like Casey Stoner and Guy Martin make cameos in the career mode, serving as disciplined kings you must defeat to progress. For those who jump in early with the Ultimate Edition, there's a 3-day early access period starting February 9th. Visually, the UE5 implementation promises more lifelike bike sounds and breathtaking environments that make the transition from asphalt to dirt feel palpable. Norse Oath of Blood is a strategic response to the demand for more mature tactical Viking narratives. Developed by Arctic Hazard, this turn-based tactics title focuses heavily on a brutal story of betrayal and survival. Set to launch on February 3rd, the game features a narrative-driven campaign where every decision impacts the loyalty of your warband and the ultimate fate of your clan. Unlike many generic Viking titles, Norse emphasizes technical depth over arcade action, requiring careful management of positioning and unit synergies. The game utilizes Unreal Engine 5 to create atmospheric, fog-drenched Scandinavian landscapes that serve as the backdrop for its grid-based combat. The devs recently released a free demo to allow players to test the combat systems before launch. The core loop revolves around raiding for resources while navigating a web of political intrigue within your own clan. With a confirmed simultaneous release on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, Norse aims to capture the same dedicated audience that fell in love with games like Banner Saga or Expeditions Viking, but with a significantly higher visual fidelity and more complex character progression trees. Squanch Games is dialing the absurdity up to 11 with High on Life 2, arriving February 13 on all platforms and Day 1 on Game Pass. The most bizarre addition this time is a procedural skateboarding mechanic, turning alien worlds into literal skate parks where you shoot and kickflip through enemies. The development hasn't been without its share of Hollywood drama. The studio revealed at Gamescom 2025 that they desperately wanted Danny DeVito to play a speaking gun role, but his agents rejected the offer, claiming he wouldn't even understand the project. Moving away from the jank of the first game, the sequel uses UE5 for smoother performance and more complex hub zones like Pink Line Harbor. A more controversial narrative feature is the inclusion of Bible Adventures, a satirical twist that has already caused a stir in online forums. Returning with a high-profile lineup, the voice cast features Ralph Ineson as a major boss, alongside Ken Marino and Betsy Sodaro. Prioritizing weird, unexpected stuff over traditional FPS tropes, the devs hope to prove that a comedy game sequel can land just as well as the original breakout hit. Microsoft's multi-platform strategy continues with Obsidian's Avowed, officially landing on PS5 on February 17th, marking its first anniversary. This isn't just a simple port. It arrives alongside a massive anniversary update for all platforms. The update expands the Pillars of Eternity lore by introducing 3 new playable races: Aumaua, Orlan, and Dwarves. Previously, character creation was limited to humans and elves due to plot constraints, so seeing how these new hitboxes and racial traits change the first-person combat is a major point of interest for returning players. The PS5 version is officially tagged as PS5 Pro Enhanced, promising superior visuals and performance on Sony's top-tier hardware. New features in the update include a highly requested photo mode and new Game Plus mode that carries over gear and abilities into a world with randomized enemy modifiers. Character customization is also getting an overhaul with new presets, including options for godlike features. Obsidian has also added quality-of-life fixes for gear and progression, aiming to make this the definitive version of their ERA-based RPG. Tarsier Studios, the visionaries behind the first 2 Little Nightmares, are officially releasing Reanimal on February 13th. Development was confirmed as finalized back in December, so there shouldn't be any risk of a last-minute delay. This spiritual successor is described as a cooperative horror adventure that follows a brother and sister through a literal animal hell on a disturbing island. Unlike their previous shorter works, Reanimal features a significantly longer campaign, estimated to last over 10 hours. The technical jump to Unreal Engine 5 has enabled a more visceral camera system and grotesque, larger-than-life creature designs. That also fits the co-op angle, since a lot of tension in games like this comes from timing and coordination, not from stats. A key detail for the Nintendo community. While the game hits PC and current consoles in February, a version for the upcoming NS2 hardware is already confirmed, with a dedicated demo planned specifically for the new console. Even though the game is built for cooperative, the demo on Xbox and PS5 is getting a lot of love for its heavy atmosphere and those creative, unsettling puzzles. The cult classic Carmageddon brand is roaring back into existence with Carmageddon Rogue Shift, marking the first mainline entry in 10 years. Developed by Italian studio 34 Big Things, known for the high-speed Redout series, it represents a massive structural shift for the franchise, adopting a combat racing roguelite loop set in the year 2050. Humanity is barricaded in skyscrapers, and the only path to safety is winning the Carmageddon, a chain of lethal races leading to a spaceport beyond the mountains. Built on UE5, it will feature a visceral damage system. Windshields, hoods, and bumpers will crumple and fly off with accurate calculations of metal physics. You'll pilot 15 upgradable vehicles equipped with 13 weapon classes, ranging from shotguns to railguns. There is already a heated debate in the veteran community regarding the decision to use zombies or the wasted instead of traditional pedestrians, with some critics labeling it a censored cop-out. However, the devs insist the move allows for more grotesque, over-the-top violence that fits the roguelite system. Locked for a February 6 launch, it includes a confirmed version for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it will be available on Game Pass at launch. Calypso Media is taking us back to Nevendar with Disciples Domination, arriving February 12th. Set 15 years after Aviana freed the world from the tyranny of the gods, this sequel finds the realm teetering on the edge of ruin. The narrative focuses on Aviana's doubt, as she sits on the throne of Ilion, haunted by the very power she used to save her people. A major selling point for strategy fans is the return of the long-lost Mountain Clan's dwarves, though the devs tease that they might not necessarily be your allies this time. Domination features tactical grid-based battles with a faster pace and more dynamic events than its predecessor. Players will recruit and upgrade units from 5 distinct factions, with a new focus on unit synergies and a refined system of strengths and weaknesses. Decisions now carry more weight, impacting faction reputation and how the entire world reacts to your rule in real time. Critics have already pointed out the effective manager influence at Artifact Studio, questioning if the shift towards more accessible combat will alienate the hardcore strategy fanbase. Still, with its rich, dark fantasy atmosphere and complex companion interaction system, it aims to be the definitive modern Disciples experience. Square Enix is tackling its most gargantuan JRPG with Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, launching February 5th. This remake of the 2000 PlayStation 1 classic uses a beautiful, handmade diorama art style that mixes Akira Toriyama's iconic designs with modern UE5 lighting. The original game was famously long, a lot of people spent like 130 hours to finish it, so the reimagined version focuses on tightening up the story and pacing to make it easier for today's players without losing its heart. A unique mechanical addition is the moonlighting system, which allows players to level up 2 vocations simultaneously, unlocking skills from 2 distinct trees. The world exploration centers on finding stone tablets to restore shards of the world, a process that has been refined to feel less like a grind. For Nintendo Switch 2 collectors, the physical editions will be game key cards rather than traditional cartridges, a detail that has sparked some debate among physical media purists. A free demo is currently available on all platforms, with save data carrying over to the full release. The open-world drift sensation JDM Japanese Drift Master finally slides onto PS5 on February 6th. Priced at $35, the console port includes all content released since its initial Steam launch, including the Landmarks activity and a suite of performance optimizations. The game is set in the fictional Guntama Prefecture, featuring over 250 kilometers of visually stunning mountain passes and city streets rendered in Unreal Engine 5. You play as Tuma, a rookie attempting to conquer the local street racing scene in a story told through authentic hand-drawn manga panels. PS5 version introduces full support for adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, which the developers claim makes the transition between grip and drift feel much more nuanced on the DualSense. A major highlight for launch day is the Made in USA DLC, adding 6 iconic American muscle cars to the JDM Heavy roster for $6. A high-energy Eurobeat radio station is also included, with classic tracks like Running in the 90s. With its focus on realistic physics and the choice between arcade and simcade driving models, it aims to be the ultimate celebration of Japanese car culture for PlayStation owners. Launching the same day as Carmageddon Rogue Shift, Suda51 is back with his first new IP in 5 years, Romeo is a Dead Man. Launching February 11th, this blood-soaked action game is the first Grasshopper manufactured title to be published entirely in-house. The story follows Romeo Stargazer, a man resurrected by a time paradox who now serves as an FBI space-time special agent. Wearing a high-tech mask called Deadgear, Romeo must hunt the multiverse's most wanted fugitives across shattered dimensions. Suda described the project as a jam session at a live concert, focusing on ultra-violent, super sleek hack-and-slash combat. A core mechanic is the Bloody Summer special attack, fueled by absorbing the blood of fallen enemies. Suda revealed in a press release that they won a game of chicken against a major twice-delayed 2026 title, likely GTA 6, confirming they never actually intended to launch in May. While the game targets 4K performance on current-gen consoles, a Switch 2 port is also being considered if the engine can be optimized properly for Nintendo's new hardware. Signature grasshopper weirdness, pilotable mechs, and a story that ties the multiverse collapse to the disappearance of Romeo's girlfriend Juliet are all part of the package. Bandai Namco is delivering the ultimate experience for anime fans with My Hero Academia All's Justice, launching February 6th. Unlike previous arena fighters, this entry focuses exclusively on the anime's final story arc, the final war between heroes and villains. Developed by Viking Inc., the game is a 3-on-3 brawler that emphasizes zoning and tactical quirk usage over simple button mashing. A major new technical feature is the Rising mechanic, a transformation that grants temporary power boosts and enhanced movesets for characters like Bakugo, who gains massive cannons. The game includes 2 original modes: Team Up Mission, which features an open-world hub inspired by the Spider-Man and Yakuza series, and Hero's Diary, a slice-of-life vignette collection exploring the daily lives of Class 1A students. Early hands-on previews highlighted the verticality of the fights, with characters like Deku able to use his lightning whip to navigate stages like a web swinger. While the Steam Deck performance is currently described as rough in early builds, the roster is marketed as the series' largest yet, featuring unique puppet-style combat for characters like Fumikage. After a grueling 18-year wait, Japanese developer Genki is finally bringing Tokyo Extreme Racer back to consoles, with the PS5 version launching on February 25th. Having hit full release on Steam late last year, the console port is optimized for the PS5 Pro, featuring enhanced lighting and higher resolutions for its midnight highway runs. The game is a love letter to the early 2000s street racing scene, tasking players with challenging rival teams along the intricate highway networks of Tokyo. New technical perks for the console release include the Tuner Summon system, allowing players to call legendary mechanics to any parking area to handle high-end modifications. The Aura system also makes a return, where defeating specific rivals increases your car's reputation and visual flair. Genki has been praised for its generosity, offering the one update for free to early access buyers on PC. On PS5, the game will retail for $50 and features a detailed roster that includes iconic licensed cars like the Lexus LFA. DigixArt, the innovative French studio behind Road 96, is exploring a whole new frontier with Tides of Tomorrow, launching February 24. Set on the vibrant oceanic planet Alind, this first-person adventure tasks you with finding a cure for a merciless disease threatening to wipe out humanity. The standout feature here is an asynchronous multiplayer influence system. When you start your journey, you must choose another player, whether a friend, a famous streamer, or a total stranger, to follow. As you explore floating towns and navigate the sea in your boat, you'll witness echoes or ghosts of your predecessors' actions. If the player before you destroyed a bridge or depleted a resource, you must deal with the fallout of those choices. The narrative is procedural and changes dynamically based on the specific combination of choices made by those you follow. Developed in UE5, the game tackles the environmental crisis theme with a visual style the team jokingly calls Boat 96. A demo is currently available on Steam, recently patched to improve facial animations and overall pacing. The BlazBlue franchise is evolving with BlazBlue Entropy Effect X, a standalone console release of the acclaimed roguelite spin-off, arriving February 12th. This title blends the series' signature combo-heavy fighting fundamentals with roguelite build crafting. You'll dive into the sea of possibility, a mysterious dimension between worlds, to collect shards of possibility and save a collapsing reality. It features a roster of 14 fan-favorite characters, each with fully realized combat techniques adapted for side-scrolling action. Console launch includes 2 high-profile guest characters as free Day 1 DLC, Icy from Icy and the Beheaded from Dead Cells. It's a showcase for precise, responsive controls, with the devs emphasizing that the perfect iframe dodge mechanics from the fighting games remain intact. Every run is fresh, with players stacking power-ups to create builds that range from precision assassins to elemental grand strategists. Drop a comment with what you're gonna play. And don't forget to subscribe. On this channel, it's always the freshest info on new game releases. Also check out my other videos on upcoming top games in 2026. It's shaping up to be a seriously packed year.